And I have no idea how Donald Trump does what he does. The man who was made for this job is doing exactly what he said he would do. Yes, Donald Trump was dictator on day one, but a dictator that the American people voted for. They all asked for this and voted for this. And according to our border czar today, Tom Homan, over 300 criminal illegal aliens were arrested on day one. It took one day. And did you hear anything negative about it? I didn't. Did you hear about roundups? Did you hear about ICE agents going into the ghettos and banging down doors? No, because that didn't happen. And that is exactly what the American people voted for. And if you don't believe me, just ask the only guy over at CNN that should work at Newsmax.
There's real uniformity here. That's what I really think you see. You see real uniformity. Deported all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. You can really see that there's been a massive shift from when Trump was first getting into office 8 years ago. I think the American people are going to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt to do what he wants to do, at least if you believe these blunt questions, including this one.
Donald Trump took the oath of office just about 55 hours ago, and so far it has been a complete show of force. The new administration, again, doing exactly what they said they were going to do. In fact, they're moving so fast that it's been impossible for the rest of the media to keep up, and they're doing that on purpose. If you go quickly, the legacy media doesn't have time to criticize every little thing you do. It's been total shock and awe, and it's moving too fast for them. Donald Trump today closing the border officially to all illegal immigrants, signing an executive order at 3:22 p.m. in Washington, empowering officials to arrest, prosecute, and deport anyone who crosses the border illegally. Think about the message that sends to the rest of the world. It is crystal clear. Try it, and you will not only go to jail, but you will also be deported. Criminals will finally be treated as criminals again in this country, and that's refreshing. So what else did Donald Trump do today? What's he been up to over the last 55 hours? Well, for starters, DEI, the worst three letters in the alphabet when they're all paired together, has officially been eliminated from the federal government. Donald Trump rolling back Executive Order 1124-6, eliminating affirmative action hiring in the federal government, meaning if two candidates with the exact same resume apply for the exact same job, but one of those candidates checks the box next to Native American like Elizabeth Warren did, she won't automatically get that job. This was wrong from the start. Donald Trump just ended racial discrimination in the federal government, something that shockingly has been around for more than 60 years, and we're only talking about this now. Today, all federal employees working in DEI offices were placed on indefinite leave starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. They are looking for new jobs because they didn't have a real job in the first place. Donald Trump also restoring merit-based hiring at the FAA, which none of this ever made any sense to me. Actually made me nervous because the FAA controls air traffic controllers, who I think most rational people would want the most qualified, the best person in that room, regardless of their race or their ethnicity. The move also ended this. In 2021, United Airlines said, quote, "Our flight deck should reflect the diverse group of people on board our planes every day. That's why we plan for 50% of the 5,000 pilots that we train over the next 10 years to be women and people of color." Let that sink in for a moment. That is why I do not fly United Airlines. 4 years ago, United stated in writing that they care more about gender and skin color than safety. Again, no one on board a plane cares what the pilot looks like. I don't even think about it, although I do always say thank you. When you land and you walk off, most people just get off the plane. I always peek in and just say thank you very much. Thank you for flying that thing safely to its destination. I have no idea how you did that. It's remarkable that we got there. Thank you, okay? People just want the best pilots flying the airplane. That's it. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian. I don't care if you're male or female. If you are the best pilot, go to the cockpit. That's great. So here we are, 55 hours down, 4 years to go, and Donald Trump is mandating common sense. Meantime, again, over on CNN today, these 7 words were actually uttered. This is CNN. This is the news.
This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth. And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim. Look, I left the White House during a riot. My life was threatened. My life has been threatened within the last few weeks, yet there's no coverage of that. And you all continue this narrative of attacking Trump. You just can't stand the fact that he won.
I've never seen a better example of this moment crystallized in one exchange, or a better example of just how far CNN has fallen and how out of touch these people are. This is CNN, this is the news. That is an example of the bubble they live in. And the saddest part is, they believe it. I met some of these people over the weekend. Perfectly nice people when they're not on camera, but they believe it. This is CNN, this is the news. Obviously, it's not. The president also mandating that only the American flag can fly over federal buildings, ending 4 very confusing years of pride flags and trans pride flags. That's what that is right there, and BLM flags flying next to the American flag over federal buildings like the Department of Justice. Those days are over. Does the pride flag bother me? Not really. Sometimes. When it's doing that, it does. That's the trans pride flag. They just invented that thing. It's got a triangle on it. That makes it trans. But I also don't think that the federal government needs to celebrate who you decide to sleep with every single June. You can do that at your own house. If you got a flagpole, you can hang your pride flag. That's terrific. Take pride in that. That's wonderful that you choose to do that, okay? But I don't need to celebrate your bedroom choices, okay? And yesterday, Donald Trump and his administration removed a website called lacasablanca.org, which was the Spanish version of whitehouse.org. If you go to the Spanish website now, it directs you back to the English version. We didn't even know this website existed. Today, they did it again with a Health and Human Services pro-abortion website called reproductiverights.gov, a website run by the federal government under Joe Biden with information on it on how to get an abortion, courtesy of Rachel Levine, a man who thinks he's a woman now, who ran the Department of Health and Human Services up to Sunday, a man with children who was married to a woman at one point into his 50s, then got divorced and started dressing like a woman. That was the person providing health information to Americans under Joe and Kamala. That website is now gone. And that is happening because Washington has changed. And that change was chronicled today in a video by the Speaker of the House as J.D. Vance walked into the Oval Office for the very first time.
Wow.
This is J.D. Vance's first time to step into the Oval Office.
Wow.
It's incredible.
This is incredible.
What a moment. J.D. Vance, a man who becomes more likable by the moment. He came from abject poverty, a drug-addicted mother, a father he never knew, someone who served his country, went to college, got married, has 3 beautiful kids, and now he's 40 years old and he's vice president. The man the media for months told us was weird is now living the American dream. I've met him. He is probably the most normal guy you're ever going to meet. So what has Donald Trump been up to for the last 55 hours? He's doing everything he said he would do. He's bringing America back. And in just 2.5 days, jobs are already coming back to America, to the American auto industry. Take a look.
Atlantis Investments returns 1,500 jobs to their Illinois plant. They're going to produce their new midsize pickup in Illinois, and they're going to build their next-gen Dodge Durango at their Detroit complex.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the next-gen Dodge Durango looks like. Is that electrified? Is it a hybrid? Hopefully the latter
we know that
for
the Trump administration
investors in Stellantis.
On EVs.
No, and consumers really not that hot on EVs either.
Yeah, I don't think the next Dodge Durango is going to be electric. I'm guessing. Also, I don't think it's Illinois. I think the S is silent. When FDR was first elected, he laid out his plans for the first 100 days in office. Donald Trump has changed that, amended that, if you will. It's now the first 3 days in office. And in the process, he has just destroyed the rest of the media. He's destroyed the Democratic Party. They've been reduced to doing things like this now. On the same day that Donald Trump pardoned January 6 protesters, with their family and friends outside the D.C. courthouse, waiting to see loved ones who in many cases they haven't laid eyes on in 4 years, the mayor of Washington, D.C. ordered city officials to go to that jail and do this.
We're outside the D.C. gulag right now, and they're literally giving people parking tickets out here that are out here supporting our political prisoners. Look at this.
Parking solutions on the rear side of this building. There is an open parking lot. Yeah. that's where I actually parked my vehicle today because the parking is difficult at the moment. How you want?
Why? I mean, can you all give us a break today?
I cannot, unfortunately. I've been instructed by a higher power.
Did you hear the end there? I've been instructed by a higher power to come out here and issue tickets. That's what you're going to see for the next 4 years, and I'm honestly fine with it. The party is so pathetic right now, the Democratic Party. They've been reduced to parking tickets. All right, 3 months ago, they thought they were going to get the White House. Now it's parking tickets outside of jail. So enjoy this moment. You should enjoy this moment. Enjoy every second of it. And remember what this all could have been like if Kamala actually won. Everything that was happening on Sunday would get 4 years worse. But thankfully, Donald Trump won, and that never came to pass.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.